I'd like to respond to the last question. The gentleman asked a legitimate question. He was respectful in the way he posed that question, and I'd like to try to answer it. Number one, the acting police chief and Chief Stryker's absence was Lieutenant Colonel Janke. I was a patrol bureau commander. The officers involved in the incident were assigned to my bureau. So all the assistant chiefs respond, but they all have job responsibilities. The investigative process does not occur in patrol bureau. There is a process. What will happen through that process, regardless what you feel about it, is that a good investigation will withstand the test of time. Those facts that are put on paper, the best that we know, a lot of things come into play.
Lieutenant Colonel Twitty. Lieutenant Colonel Twitty. Hold on for a minute. Lieutenant Colonel Twitty. Can you tell us, Lieutenant Colonel Twitty, can you tell us why the safety director in his report had it that you told and notified the family about their loss when you just recognized that it wasn't you who notified her about her loss, but the hospital?
I didn't know that until after I got there.
Do you know why he would put that in the report?
Mrs. Leisure.
Listen to my question. Do you know why he would put something in the report that's not true?
I don't remember seeing that anywhere,
Mr. Tarbell just read it.
Okay. When I responded to the hospital, Mrs. Leisure and her husband
had been notified.
They were already at the hospital. I was aware that they had been notified because they told me.
Right. So you weren't the one who went out and actually notified them about the loss of their son because they had already found out through the hospital.
I didn't know that until I responded to the hospital, Mr. Lawson.
All right. And that was several hours after he had passed.
Yes.
Colonel Twitty, Mr. Lawson. Colonel, Mr. Lawson, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Tarbell.
Mr. Lawson.
Any other questions? Any other questions that I can help you with?
Colonel, Mr. Lawson, ladies and gentlemen, can I have just a minute, please? Ladies and gentlemen,
I think I did answer that. I told you. I told you that investigation is still in progress. There's a lot.
Okay, ma'am.
And I think I shared with you that we have an investigative process, and there really hasn't been.
Twitty.
There is an investigative process.
Lieutenant Colonel Twitty. Lieutenant Colonel Twitty.
We want to answer why they shot the man. What was the threat? What was the threat?
Lieutenant Colonel Twitty. The Chief Stryker has told us enough.
I can't hear you, Miss James. Go ahead.
They have said enough. They said there was a perceived danger that the officer has.
I can't hear you.
The Officer Roach articulated to the chief or others, or Kent Ryan, who was on the scene at the time, that there was a perceived danger. All we want to know, because we need to be assured that just because you have black skin, you're not a perceived danger. We need to know what was the danger. That's all we're asking. We just want to know what's the danger, because it has to be more than our skin, because otherwise it's going to be a long, hot summer.
You're asking for information. In response,
quiet, please.
In response to Ms. James' question, I still had the same response. We do have an investigative process. That process hasn't been completed yet.
That. No, if it's an investigative,
that process
you breached it enough, Kenneth. You breached it enough to say that there was a person. Right. Exactly.
I can't hear you.
Hey,
If there's an investigative process, and that's
Yes.
the reason why you can't give us any information, you've already breached that by giving us enough to say there was a perceived danger. The officer said that much. You've breached it already. Now we want to know why was
Well,
there a
we're
perceived...
in disagreement, Mr. Love, because we have two different types of investigation. One,
Well, we're asking for the internal investigation. What did he say to you? What did the officer say? Just, you were there. What, what did the other officers tell you,
Colonel,
Mr. Ryan?
Colonel Twitty.
What did the other officers say to you?
Miss
What did
James.
they say?
Miss James.
That's a good.
Miss James.
it's what Keith Fangman told it. Here's a different question. Is what Keith Fangman told the Cincinnati Enquirer that was quoted in Sunday's paper true? That the officer told him that he believed the young man had something in his waistband and that's why he shot. Is Keith Fangman's statement true?
I don't know.
He doesn't have to go to.
Miss,
You don't
Mr.
know why?
Lawson.
I don't know if that statement is true or not.
The question is, are we gonna? How much are we gonna give the prosecution of the officer?
Mr. Lawson. Mr. Lawson. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hello? Hey! Is that on? Y'all can hear me out there?
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
One more question.
Ladies and gentlemen. 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 Ladies and gentlemen.
Let me.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Let me.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
One more question.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Let me.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
We see you just like them, Tweety.
Ladies and gentlemen, in answer to this question, and in answer to this question, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen,
Let me take How the killer? It ain't on.
That's what we gotta stop doing. Priming against each other. We need to stop priming against each other and become a union. We got to stop fighting each other and become a union so we can get y'all out of there. We need to stop killing each other. We need to, y'all killed enough of us. Y'all killed enough of us. We need to be a union. The black community needs to be a union. That's what we need to do.
Tweety, they put out on you while you was down, Tweety. They say you notified the family and everything.
Yeah. Hey, Lieutenant Colonel Twitty. You need to let the chief answer. You need to let the chief answer, man. This ain't your role.
Mr. Lawson, you had another question?
ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, Can you, would you hold up for just a minute, please?
Lieutenant Colonel, I'm going to ask you
Would
the
you
same
hold up for
question
just
I
a
asked
minute, please?
others. The sister who
Ladies
killed
and
two
gentlemen.
kids over the weekend.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Can we have just a moment,
sister
please?
is accused of killing two kids over the weekend. Your police division investigated that. She is under a grand jury investigation now. But yet you all released information about the case, even though she hasn't been to the grand jury yet. My question is, why can you talk about her case, but why not about the officers? Is there a different standard for when police kill us than when we kill each other?
Mr. Lawson,
Colonel 20.
You follow my question? I mean,
I'm going to try to answer your
I
question.
think Homicide spoke about how she killed her kids and told
Yeah.
all the facts.
There are rules to release of public information. That is the reason why. Hold on for a second.
Go ahead.
That is why I don't have access to the investigation, nor do I need to have access to the information. You know, our criminal investigation section is investigating a death, just like they would with any other death. That process.
But why did they release the information in the death of the two kids, but not the death of her son?
They released the death about them two girls.
Mr. Lawson.
Two kids.
I believe, Mr. Lawson. I believe the mother was charged with the homicide of those two kids by drowning.
It's still going to grand jury, though.
No, it's public information.
It's still going to grand jury.
It's public information at that
No,
point.
the charge is public. The reason why you made public. So you can charge me with aggravated murder, but not put down all the reasons. Y'all went a step beyond that and told why she killed her kids. The question I'm asking you is not talking about the charge, because the charge may not tell you why you did what you did. But your police division, the chief's division, went on and explained why she did what she did. All we want to know is, what did this officer tell you was his reason for killing her son? I don't see why this is so damn hard.
Well, I think I answered that, Mr. Lawson. I'm not part of the investigative process. I did not interview the officer.
Then get out the way. Then get out the way and put somebody else down in there. Because you can't answer my question. Have somebody sit there that can give us answers then.
Nobody's going to give you that information, Mr. Lawson.
Why not?
I think we told you that already.
No,
that the investigation is not complete yet.
I don't want to get into a debate publicly with you.
Okay, I understand.
So put the man in charge in. Since you weren't in charge that night, don't take this heat.
Okay.
Killers should get the death penalty.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Lawson, ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Twitty, if
Hey, it's gonna be a hot summer.
You ain't
You
lying.
know that right now. We finna turn the inferno up. They better ride them bikes. They be going down through the neighborhood pretty soon.
if you will give just
What-
1 minute.
Did council not make the chief come in and tell what happened in Owensby case? Did they not call the coroner down here? And did they not come and tell what happened to Roger Owensby? Did that happen? Somebody give me an answer.
It's time to take law in our own hands.
Did council not make the chief of police come down and tell what happened to Roger Owensby? And did they not make the coroner come down and talk about the death of Owensby? Did they do that? Then why can't they do it for this family?
Where's the photo? Hey, Kenny.
Colonel Twitty,
Right.
did y'all make the chief come in and tell what happened though? Cecil, did they make the chief come down here and tell what happened in Owensby's case? While the investigation was pending? Did somebody tell me what the fuck are we doing? Hey, I got a question for the chief.